Hello everybody, Reggie Time here with my first video back in about 10 days worth of making. I didn't make videos at all last week. The reason for that was, well, two reasons really. First reason was it was Royal Ascot week in the UK and I didn't play that much poker on PPP because it's my morning and afternoon place to play, and in the afternoons I was pretty much just choosing horses that didn't run very fast and wagering on them. And in the mornings, because the restrictions have been lifted in the UK now a little bit, I basically became my mum's social bubble, which means I could go and visit her and spend more time with her. So I did quite a lot of that because I haven't spent much quality time with my mum in the best part of 4 months almost. So I went and spent like time with her in the mornings, having like a catch up and just making her feel as important as she is. So yeah, there wasn't much morning afternoon poker last week, so that's why I didn't create any content. But we're back with a vengeance now. Really looking forward to get stuck into making or releasing at least 3, hopefully more videos per week for the foreseeable, and flopping sets. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all that bullshit. Join the Facebook group if you haven't already. Don't be a dick if you get in there. All those things. But yeah, we're trying to be a relatively spam-free zone. We want to get a check raise in here, ideally. What would I make it here if I had like a straight draw? I probably want to make it like pretty big, not that big. That seems reasonable. About 3.5x, and then obviously shoving any turn if he doesn't shove over the top, but this guy's already shoved. We're hoping here that he has pocket deuces and not pocket tens, or maybe he's just limped in with aces and it's got cute. Either way, we're going all in, and we get the delightful news that it is set over set, but in our favour, and we drag a tasty pot down. So yeah, we're playing 20NL in Aussie dollars here on some different clubs. We'll talk about that in just a moment. 7s is just the best hand here, apart from against this guy, and no one's got that much money. Neither of these guys have a hand better than pocket 7s almost ever. So I'm happy to flick the extra in. And then, like, obviously we could be behind to this guy, but we'd unlikely to be behind to these guys. As it happens, it looks like we're going to stack every single one of them. And we do. We take everyone down. Absolutely wiping 3 people out in one go. That is pleasant. Explosive, one might say. Then we're going to bet the jacks here twice and get value from 7x, straight draws, under pairs to the jacks, etc. 7's not a good card, but it's not a terrible one either. I think we can bet small again and then just check back rivers. Seems reasonable to me. Yes, shouldn't change that much. Obviously a bit worried he can have stuff like Queen 10, etc. Oh, exactly, Queen 10. I'm on it today. Reggie is on it today. But Reggie doesn't like it when Reggie refers to Reggie in the third person, so Reggie's a little bit pissed off with himself for doing that. Reggie will address the situation going forward and make sure it doesn't happen again, because Reggie's a good lad like that. So yes, we are playing in some different clubs today. I now have access to 3 different clubs on PPP in Australian unions, which is, I'll get back to this in just a moment. Not falling to this check raise with the NFD. against a line that looks like it might be BS. He bombs it though, Foden. Give him credit if he bombs it. Does that class as bombing it? I think so, doesn't it? Doesn't give us a good price to draw. Well, we might, it's unlikely, but might already be drawing dead. But yeah, it's just spewing. Good for you. Good to know. Thank you for the show. So yeah, in the past we just made videos on pot bombers, on PPP and quad miners. On this video we've got, I think, games from 2 clubs. But there's 3 clubs, all in different like Aussie and Asian unions. And my advice now, especially now PPP have updated their Windows client. My advice is to create an account, join several clubs that all offer similar stakes to give you the absolute best opportunity to get in the best of games. If you're just in 1 club, you're going to find good games. If you're in 2 clubs, you're going to find good games even easier. If you're in 3 clubs, you're going to find good games even easier still. And that is my advice. It's like the game selection is critical, especially when you're playing in apps where volume, isn't super easy to come by. You don't want to be like having precious real estate taken up on your screen with just the tables you can find from 1 club. So I mean, my advice would be, if you're going to deposit, say, for cleanness sake, 15 buy-ins, I would say join 3 clubs, put 5 buy-ins in each club, and then grind all 3 clubs. Like, just view them all. Like, bang, let's have a look in Pot Bombers. Bang, let's have a look in this one. Bang, let's have a look in Fight Club, etc. And just get the best of everything and reject like the worst games. Sometimes if you want to get, let's say, 4 tables in a particular club, but there's only, say, 7 tables running, then your table section is limited. But if you want to get 4 tables and there's across 3 clubs there's 14 games running, then obviously you're going to have far better game selection. And nothing's easier than getting in touch with me and just say you run bad on this club and you drop a couple of buy-ins, but on this club you've won 4 buy-ins. Just drop me a message saying, "Oh, can I transfer some money from A to B?" And we can keep your accounts balanced, so you can still get away with just like depositing just 15 buy-ins and giving yourself some excellent game selection opportunities. So yeah, I think like on some of the other that's like Poker Bros now, a lot of the unions are getting quite big and quite reggy, and there's lots of like smaller clubs that are forming. And I think like my strategy, I don't know, maybe it might not be everyone's strategy, but my strategy going forward in these clubs is to very much spread myself around several clubs and cherry pick the best games from those clubs, rather than you say, right, I'm in this club or I'm in this union and that's it. You got to spread yourself around. You've got to be a rounder, right? This guy check raised before and he showed us a total bluff. We have a top 2 pair situation, so we're just going to let him do his thing here, and we're going to call, and we're going to call, and we're going to call all race. We will be trying to get all the money in at some point, and if he does have us like somehow beat, then good for him. But that show he gave us just a few minutes ago, it might get him paid here, or it might end up costing him his entire stack. Who knows? But we're not falling. I don't care. The backdoor flush just come in. It's irrelevant. He's just flopped the nuts this time, and fair play to him. He probably thinks his show got him paid from the previous hand. It didn't. It was just a cooler, wasn't it? We have top 2. A guy flops a straight. There's nothing much else going to happen there other than all the money's going to go in. If I didn't go broke there, I wasn't doing my job correctly, in my opinion. It's a shame though, because I got excited. I sat there with what I presumed was the nuts, only to run into the actual nuts, but we can live with that. If we're going to get felted, we want to get felted by bad players, not good. It really tilts, well, it doesn't tilt me, but if I'm going to lose like 100 big blinds, I'd much rather lose it to a recreational player than lose it to a regular. So number 1, you've got a better chance of getting it back off the recreational player, and number 2, it helps them enjoy their session more and encourages them to keep playing. But let's have a little look around the tables. These are all like, so this is 20NL in Australian dollars, so it's like, I don't know, just over 10NL in sterling, like 14NL in US. And if we look around our tables, there's not a single regular at this table. This guy could be classed as a regular if 2312's your bag. Other than that, none at this table and none at this table. So yeah, it's currently 11 in the morning UK time, so it's not quite peak time for these clubs. I'd say peak time probably is midday through till late afternoon. Maybe you could class this guy as a regular. 3017, probably the best player across the three tables, or him or her. Well, of course you could be gender neutral if you get offended by me assuming someone's gender by a picture. So yeah, it's, as you can see, it's really not difficult, and since PPP updated their software last week, it's really nice now, because you don't have to, like, in the past you had to have 3 different clients open with 3 different accounts if you wanted to play on Windows and not time out. Now you just do it all through one central account. There's you can just open up to 5 tables from one account, and it's just much cleaner, it's much nicer. It's yeah, it's a really good update for grinders. So yeah, if you haven't looked at PPP yet, or you've been put off it in the past, you really should get in touch and get involved now, because this new Windows update, it's been a real game changer for grinders for sure, in a really positive way. If they keep delivering aces and kings, I won't be unhappy. I think I'm just going to flat here. Hopefully one of these guys might do something. Just going to flat here again versus that stack size. Don't want to like tip my hand too early when there's just like a short stacker in, because people are just going to, like, in my opinion, fold too much. And you think, well, the short stacker's all in, we get to see what he's got. If people like maybe think about like making some curiosity calls, I think they're less inclined to do that when they know someone's already all in. So they know they're going to get to see all the cards. I could be talking bullshit there, but it makes sense to me. Just going to try and realise our equity here with the Jack Queen, in a spot where I don't expect to get too many folds multi-way. If we had more money, we could think about floating here and try to see an interesting turn card, but even if we do float and we hit, you got like less than 50 blinds back. There's not even that much to win if we do get there somehow. What am I auto folding there for? That's naughty, Reggie. That's naughty. I mean, now we can fold when the 8% of PFR dude decides to flick some chips in. I am still active on Poker Bros, by the way, but they are not enjoying people creating content from their games at the moment, so I'm kind of committed to making videos on PPP for the foreseeable future. But if you do like the Poker Bros games and you play on there already, or you have played on there in the past and want to get back on there again, then please do get in touch, because yep, we have some nice clubs on there too. We just can't create any content from them at the moment, so don't think I'm just exclusively a PPP guy. I also can get you into clubs on UPoker, which would be my current least favourite of the 3 apps, but all 3 different apps that I have access to, all 3 are significantly better than the mainstream sites. So if PPP and Poker Bros stop tomorrow, it's not like I'm like, oh fuck, got to go back to the mainstream sites. I'd just go on UPoker. So it's, whilst UPoker would be the toughest of the 3 apps that I can currently get players into are the three like clubs, the clubs that I'm interested in new poker. And the toughest of my current options, they are still significantly better options than my returning to play on major sites. Now, these markets are really growing. I started doing this like affiliate work in October 2019ish, something like that, and the growth I've seen in these clubs and these unions in just 9 months has been quite astonishing, really. And they're just continuing to grow. There's some huge unions now, lots of little clubs spawning off. Yeah, I mean, obviously these clubs aren't tracked on PokerScout or anything, but if they were, they would be, in my opinion, showing easily the biggest growth of anywhere in the online poker market right now. Yeah, it's quite remarkable just how much growth I've seen in a relatively short period of time. It doesn't appear to be slowing down either. It slowed down a little bit after we had the COVID boom, if you will, and like after Scoop ended, I saw like maybe a week or so where maybe people's enthusiasm for poker had just dipped, but it's coming back with a vengeance now. And yeah, whenever time of day I want to play, I've got good options to play and get into like ridiculously good games. So if you do want to if you do play around the clock at different times, different days, etc., just get in touch with me, have a chat, and I feel I'm very well placed to advise you on the best places to invest your bankroll. I think with 2 overs here and a gut shot backdoor flush draw against someone with that stack size and just willing to roll the dice, we get it in slightly ahead, but not by much, and we hold. Limp min raise. Well, let's try and get this guy out the pot and just try and outrun whatever rubbish he's limp raising with our ace 10. And this guy's got no money, so just put him in for the rest. This guy's got his money in pretty bad shape. And the ace 10 holds. Chipping up nice out all our tables. Obviously this table's not going so great because we lost the cooler. But as is the case in most of my videos, as you can see, we're never really being put in too many mind-bendingly tough spots. Regulars just sat down and then took the best seat, which you cannot blame him for. We just block this one, don't we? We can still get caught by some worse hands, but if he raises, we just never go with our sixes. But we don't really want to check there either. He's just going to check back so many like King X, 8X, etc. He's never going to value bet worse. So I think blocking seems good there. Now this table over here is looking a little bit crummy, so what we're going to do in a moment, we're going to leave this table, we're going to pull the lobby up and probably start another new table, because the absolute best way to get into good games, and it's been this way for as long as I've been playing online poker, the absolute best way to get into good games is to start your own. Quite often if you join an existing table, what will have happened is unless you're joining it if you're joining it as it's forming for the first time, then you're getting a good game. But if the table's been running for a few hours, what you typically tend to see is it's that the fish have gone broke, and then it's just a mixture of good regulars and bad regulars still just playing because they lack the awareness of how important it is to table select. So very rare you'll catch me joining a pre-existing table, unless it's very short-handed to begin with and there's already like a mark there. I mean, this isn't like a bad table by any stretch. I mean, we have a 30/11, basically losing player. 30/17 who might be half decent. 28/9 who's probably losing money long term, and then we have like someone who looks pretty much like a tight regular to me. But we can just do much better. You see that table on PokerStars or Party Poker, you probably, oh, it's not a bad table that, but on these tables, on these games, it just disappears. Homage to Barry there. Channel your inner Greenstein. So this is like the lobby, how it looks these days, how it always looks. So you got your pop bombers there with like all the tables that you can see going right through to, well, we'll just do the micro stakes one. You see there's quite a lot of tables there. I probably should have set my filters up better. Then we have this one. This is like a newer, smaller, like growing club. And currently these games start as low as 10 in Aussie dollars. So like you click that table for example, and then it pops up the table over here as you can see. And do we want to join that table? Well, it's just filled up anyway. And that was the one we just left, so never mind. What we're doing here, we have a good shot, backdoor flush draw. This guy's got no money, but we're going to peel one anyway. And then we're probably going to have to call the rest off now. Ah, it just checks. I'm just going to try and realise my equity here. And we do not. Well, we realise our equity, but then we realise it's fuck all. And the Jack 6 wins. So that's that club. And then we have this club here. And these three clubs are all in different unions. So it gives you a real good opportunity to spread your wings. And this one starts like absurdly low, like 4 up to 20 etc. What have we got going on here? Let's have a look at this 60 table. I instantly see lots of high V pips, so that's that. Didn't plan on making this a high stakes video or higher stakes video, but when I see a 60 table that looks like this, then I'm afraid I've got to dive in. 60 table running with a 46, 59, 56, 55 V pips, and it's just there. We're just wandering through the forest, minding our own business, and we stumble upon a tree with probably, what's that, 150, 160, $196 of dead money hanging from it. Just how we like it. I think the only disappointing thing for me about not having to use 3 accounts anymore is that we only get to see Gary Sparrow in the avatar. We used to have Gary Sparrow, Ron Wheatcroft and Reg Deadman, 3 of the greatest comedy creations of all time. And now we just have Gary Sparrow, but, you know, it's a small price to pay to have a much more satisfying grind situation. Should really get these players tagged up, shouldn't we? I'm worried that I'm going to run out of tags at some point, because you only get a limited number of tags on these apps apparently. Now maybe because I have the highest VIP, tags are unlimited. I don't know, I've never explored it, but yeah, I am concerned that at some point, like this guy, 52 BP, should tag him, but if he's the sort of guy who typically always sits with $3, then do I want to waste a tag on this on that particular guy? I don't know. I don't know is the answer to that question. Do we want to stay at this table now? There's not a lot of money at it. We've got $3, $4, $6. Can we do better than this table? I suspect we probably can. So I think we're going to leave this table momentarily and find another one. So what are we going to, let's go through our repertoire. Running tables, hide full tables. What have we got? We've got another 30-60 game here. Let's see if that one looks any good. Not really. Not really. That's what I say about that one. We've got a 10-20 table. One of these will almost certainly be one of the ones we just left. No, it's 725, 37, 24. Again, by no means a bad table, but equally one I'm sure we could do better than. Let's have a look at this 2-seater 16L table while we isolate over here. 42 and a 57. This looks more my bag. This looks much more my bag. So we started off playing a 20L session. Looks like we're going to end the video playing mostly 16L. We're going to make another video this session, and I need to be going out. Got a busy afternoon on. We're taking a young man who I support out for 2 hours, and then we're seeing our nephew for the first time in ages, probably slightly breaking lockdown rules, but we're going to take him for a run out. He's got some additional needs too, and so looking forward to spending some time with him. We're going to take him for a run out in the car. He loves going for a drive, and then I'm going to go and get a Burger King for the first time in literally 4 months. And for those of you who know me even remotely well, you will realise what a momentous occasion it's going to be for me. He's going to keep calling here, and if he's got an ace, then good for him. She's got the King 7 instead. We've been check shoved on here. We have the most trivial of trivial calls, and we are ahead. I've given up running it 2 and 3 times now. Fuck everyone. We just run it once, and if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. Obviously, we lose this time because check raising bottom pair is good. Yeah, I don't bother doing anything other than that. It's just instantly fuck it. Just run it once. Get on with it. Unless it's like some massive pot in like a really close equity spot. Maybe you'd do it. If like 400 blinds deep and it's a flip, maybe I'd try and run it twice then, but otherwise. Anything remotely standard. Do we see better here or just check? I think we check and then raise if he bets and realise our equity if he doesn't. Didn't realise we were multi-way. Oh! Okay. I guess let's go. Do we get to come from behind this time? I mean, of course we're not running it more than once. We do at the moment. Do we hold? Yay! Happy days. And there we go. That's going to be the end of the video in the new 30-minute era. Well, it's not quite, is it? Because we're going to play the Ace King. It was going to be the end of the video, but then the Ace King turned up and made it so it couldn't be. And then another Ace King turns up. Come on, dude. A video to finish, selfish cunt. Looks like he's in the world of disconnect, doesn't it? Or in the world of just delaying, who knows. Swear to God, if we ended the fucking video a minute and a half late to get Ace King and no action on two separate tables, then nah, fuck 'em. Fuck 'em all. Right, we're going to make another video straight after this one. It'll be out a couple of days after this one if you're someone who watches my videos early. Thank you so much for watching. It's great to be back making content, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you get in touch to get involved in some of the softest games you will ever find. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and bye-bye for now.